Hello everyone, welcome back to Concept Bites. I am Nitish with your regular dose of data science concepts. In this Concept Bite, I will walk you through the different categories of machine learning problems that exist. This is one of the foundational machine learning concepts which everyone should know and remember. Before I move on, it would be great if you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also share it with your friends and family whom you think would be interested in knowing more about data science concepts from a ground level and understanding them in an enjoyable way. So let's move on. Before diving into the concept and the examples, let me just share some terminology quickly. Some of you might be aware with this terminology, but just to make sure that everybody is on the same page, I am repeating this. So let's say you're given a problem wherein, given the age and years of work experience for a person, you have to predict the salary. Okay? Now, this can be done in various ways, right? And we are not going into how to solve the problem here, okay? But our focus is the first two variables which we are using to predict or try to get the determined outcome, which is the salary. They are called independent variables or features, okay? So, the first two variables or the variables which you use to model something, they are called independent variables or features in machine learning terminology. And the variable that you are targeting for is called the dependent or the target variable. Okay. A lot of people also use other terminologies like modeling variable and modeled variable. So in this case, age and years of work experience will be modeling variables because you are using them to model something, and salary would be your modeled variable because that is being modeled for. Okay. And just to make sure, when you are given a data set to solve the problem, you will have all these three variables and their values present. But when you are running them in a live scenario in production, then you will have only the independent variables and you will have to predict the outcome for the target variable. Because if the target variable was also available in production, then you will not need to do anything, right? You will not need to predict anything. Okay? With this in mind, let's dive into the concept. And before I come to that concept, I would like to share an example which will help us understand the concept in a much easier manner. So let's say you're trying to learn a new skill or a new subject, right? And that is cooking. So let's assume that you do not know how to cook and you're trying to learn the skill or the art of cooking. Broadly, there can be two ways in which you can learn cooking. The first way can be with the help of a teacher who can be a professional chef, a family member, or even a friend. So you can go to them and tell them that, I want to learn cooking and I want to do it in a proper fashion, right? I want to learn it in a very proper systematic fashion. And what they might do is they might teach you to cook a few basic dishes, and at the end of a certain period of time tell you that, okay, now you are experienced enough to cook this kind of dishes or these certain number of dishes. Okay. The second approach can be you can Google how to learn cooking and you can go through the various materials that are available there, right? It can be videos in YouTube, it can be an online book, it can be a blog, it can be anything. And you go through these various blogs and try to figure out how to cook. Okay. And in this, nobody is helping you except the internet and your own curiosity. The first kind of cooking, if you focus on, or the first kind of learning rather, is learning under supervision. You're learning under the supervision of an expert who's teaching you how to cook with a specific target in mind, right? So that target can be, let's say I want to cook 5 dishes by the end of this month, or maybe I want to learn how to cook basic Indian dishes, let's say, etc., etc. The second one is called learning without supervision or learning without a target. So when you're trying to go through various blogs and articles online, you don't have a specific target in mind. You're trying to learn a few things from here and there, combine them, cook food yourself and figure it out. Okay. So when it comes to machine learning, the problems can be also classified in a similar manner. So if a target variable exists, it is called supervised learning. Okay. So as we were speaking about learning under supervision in the previous slide, if a target variable exists, it is called supervised learning. Examples of this can be prediction of a stock price in the stock market, fraud detection in credit cards, and so on. In these examples, you will observe that you know what you're targeting for, right? You will know what the target variable is and it exists and is given to you when you are building the model. The second kind of learning is when the target variable is not determined or does not exist. That is called unsupervised learning or learning without supervision. Some simple examples of this are categorizing news articles. So let's say I give you all the news articles from the New York Times in the last 10 years, and they can be about various topics, right? How will you understand that, or rather how will you build an exhaustive list of categories which can cover all these such news articles? That might be a very, very difficult and time consuming job, right? So unsupervised learning can help in this regard because it does not assume a specific target and it will try to give you different categories of news articles by learning it in an unsupervised manner. Another simple example can be customer segmentation clustering, which commonly happens in the world of e-commerce, wherein they want to understand the behavior of the customers and some demographic data, and they try to build some customer profiles so that they can target them with appropriate offers and appropriate products. Okay, so this is the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. In the first one, the target variable or the modeled variable exists. In the second one, it does not. Now, even supervised learning can be further broken down into two types of problems. If the target variable is categorical, or the target variable takes a finite number of values, it is called a classification problem. So a classification problem is one of the examples can be fraud detection. So if you're trying to predict whether a particular transaction on a credit card is fraudulent or not, you have yes or no, or 1 or 0, basically two types of answers which you have to choose between. So this is called a binary classification. You might have problems wherein you might have to predict between more than two classes also. They are called multi-class classification problems. The second category of supervised learning problems is when the target variable is continuous. So for example, the stock market prediction problem or the salary prediction problem that we talked about in the first slide, they come under continuous variables because the salary of a person is a continuous value. It is not a categorical value. They are called regression problems. So why are we trying to highlight this? Is because the types of learning algorithms or the modeling techniques are different for unsupervised and supervised learning, and even for classification and regression problems. The type of techniques and even the performance measures and the way you understand them is quite different. So it is worth your time to try to categorize your problem into the right umbrella so that you can use the appropriate tools. And generally, at least 90 to 95% of the problems that you would generally come across would be either supervised or unsupervised learning. There are other types of learning that exist too, but they are not of interest to us right now. Okay. With this, I come to the end of this concept bite. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please share it with your friends and family, and I will look forward to your comments and feedback. Thank you so much.